Well everyone, you might be in a situation where you want to go ahead and boost your gaming performance on your iPhone. Now iPhones aren't necessarily like the first gaming device you'd ever think of, but there are tons and tons of games that you can play on your device, and I've been personally playing a bunch of Genshin Impact, Call of Duty Mobile, so many of these other games. Apex Legends just came out for mobile too, so I will definitely tell you when it comes down to it, the very first thing I would recommend doing in order to just increase the FPS of really any game or any emulator that you're using on your phone is to make sure that you are pretty much only focusing on that one game at the time. If you have a lot of applications open up in the background, although iOS is very smart and can close out of a lot of applications, your best bet from my experience is to go ahead and make sure you have at least a lot of other games closed out in the background. If you're multitasking between like Call of Duty Mobile and Genshin Impact, that can actually take a massive toll on the amount of RAM that you're switching and kind of swiping between. So I will tell you, kind of closing out of some other apps and or kind of minimizing some other apps if you have the ability to kind of just, delete, like remove them from the multitasking panel. That is a big thing I'd recommend doing. Now, another thing that I personally do that a lot of people, it's kind of a little controversial, but a big thing that I do is within any game or any setting that I have within any game that I've ever downloaded is to tune the graphics according to that device. If you're rocking something like an iPhone, 10R like I'm rocking a lot of the time for some of these videos, this is not the latest iPhone. This is definitely an iPhone that's been out for a little bit of time. So the best thing you can do here is to tune the graphics profile down to a good standard for this type of device. If I'm trying to, utilize the highest graphic settings for the highest power or whatever, that is going to cause some issues with this device. It's going to overheat a lot and it's going to, just not be at the highest caliber. So what I recommend doing is tuning down the graphics to a one that's, suitable. For example, for Genshin Impact, I was able to run Genshin Impact perfectly fine on some of the highest settings on my iPhone 14 Pro Max and my iPhone 13 Pro Max, but even on my iPhone 6S, right, that specific, iPhone, I'm still able to play Genshin Impact fairly smoothly because I was able to tune the graphics down. So if you want to increase the FPS, the best thing you can do is to tune the graphics down as much as you can, but along with that, going through and actually making sure that your specific phone is in a somewhat colder environment or at least room temperature is another thing you can do to make sure your phone isn't going to just throttle the speeds. Although iPhones normally probably don't get super hot if you're just playing a game just like here and there, but if you're playing for hours and hours on end and it's a super intensive game, that is going to not only drain the battery, but it's also going to go ahead and actually overheat your phone, which can throttle the performance. So the best thing you can do here, like I mentioned before, is to just go through, make sure that your specific, phone for the most part isn't in a super hot condition, play it in a colder room or play it near like an air conditioner or something like that. That way your phone's not heating up like crazy. And that is another big, massive thing that you can do as well. So personally, that's another big thing. On top of that, if the games that you're playing, have any updates available, there are some games that don't really get updated. Like if you're playing Fortnite nowadays on your phone, on your iPhone for that matter, you're playing via Xbox servers, so there's no update there. But if you're playing Genshin Impact or Call of Duty Mobile or any game like that, your best bet here is to go ahead and see if there's an update available for those games. So just go through, type in the name of that game and go ahead and update that game. And that is another big thing you can do there as well, is to just go ahead and update those games. And that can pretty much, along with everything else that I mentioned, boost the performance of your phone and hopefully kind of give you a better, frames per second or better, performance overall on the games that you're playing on your iPhone. At least those are the kind of things I do on some of my older devices whenever I'm playing any games on them. So that pretty much covers it up. If you have any other thoughts or questions, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.